In this video, we're checking out the OFF1 from Mastro Valvola. The OFF1 stands for Octave, Fuzz, and Filter, and that's what this pedal is. It's comprised of 3 different blocks of effects. We have a fuzz in the middle right here with these 3 controls and 2 toggle switches. We have an octave section over here on the left side, and then we have a filter section over here on the right side. So let's go ahead and jump into those controls. Let's start with the fuzz section. And we have 3 controls. We have a volume control, which makes our signal quieter or louder. And then above that volume control, we have the tone control. If we turn that tone control down, we're gonna get a darker sound, and as we turn it up, we're gonna get a brighter sound. And then at the top of the fuzz section, we have the gain control. So if we turn that down, we're gonna get a cleaner sound. And then if we turn it up, we introduce more fuzz to get a more fuzzy, huge sound. And then in addition to those standard fuzz controls, we also have 2 toggle switches. Over here on the right side, we have a toggle labeled mid, and this lets us engage a mid boost. Now, thus far, we haven't been hearing the mid boost. We have had it disengaged, so we get kind of like a more flat mid-range response, maybe a little bit scooped. But if we engage the mid boost, we're gonna get more mids in that more like mid-range snarl sound. So let's hear that. And then over on the left-hand side of the fuzz block, we have the up toggle. Now this turns on and off an octave up sound. Now this is kind of like a green ringer style. It's a dirty octave up. So let's hear how that sounds. So that takes care of the fuzz block. Let's move on to the octave block over here, which is controlled. You can turn it on and off with this foot switch right here. And that means you can turn the octave block on independently of the fuzz section, so you can turn it on by itself. And what the octave block gives you is 2 octaves down on top of your dry signal. We can control that with 3 level controls right here. So we have our dry guitar signal, which no pitch shifting at all. And then we can turn that down and increase the level of the sub 1, which is 1 octave down. And then the bottom sub 2 control is 2 octaves down. Now, one thing to note is that this style of octave, this octave 1 and 2 down, are more monophonic. So if you throw multiple notes at this octave section, you're going to get that kind of like glitchy judder back and forth, and I can demonstrate that just by playing a bar chord. Which, you know, could be really cool when used in the right context, you know, but that is one thing to keep in mind, just so you know what you're getting into. The real magic of this octave section comes when you blend all 3 together. So let's go ahead and set all the controls at noon. And this is dry signal, 1 octave down and 2 octaves down. So that's really cool. And then remember the up toggle, we can also engage that octave up. So that sound kind of reminds me of like synthy type territory, which brings us to the last block of the OFF1, and that is the filter section. Now the filter section lives over here on the right side. We have an on-off toggle labeled filter, we have a resonance control, and we have a cutoff control. The toggle lets us turn the filter section on and off. In the up position, it is off. So let's go ahead and engage it. And now our filter section is engaged and we can control it with the resonance control. It's labeled Reso, and then the cutoff control. Now, the cutoff control lets you slide a high shelf control. So if we turn it up, we get more high end, and as we turn it down, we're taking that high end and we're shifting the roll off, so it kind of gives it like a wah type sound. So if we turn it all the way up, we're gonna hear all of the frequencies. And then as we turn that down, we're shifting that roll off closer to the lower frequencies. So that's the cutoff control. Now, paired with that is the reso control. That provides us a resonant filter. So what it does is it takes some of the output of the filter, feeds it back into itself, so we get kind of a resonant peak. So I'm gonna hit a chord and then I'm gonna increase that reso control, which really lets you hear that kind of like frequency peak out. It can kind of get a tiny bit squealy if you turn it up past like 95%, but if you're down in like the 3 o'clock range, it's gonna be great. And it really provides that cool like whooshy sound when used in conjunction with the cutoff knob. And you can get some kind of like cocktaw type sounds like this. We can blend all of those together. We can blend the fuzz with the octave, with the filter. Let's go ahead and get a really, big fuzz sounds. So we're gonna turn the tone to about noon. Let's go ahead and engage that octave up. We're gonna turn the filter off just to hear how that's sounding good. Let's go ahead and turn that sub octave on. That's sounding really cool. We've got the mid boost engaged. Now let's go ahead and turn the filter on. So that sounds really cool. And another feature I want to tell you about is the expression jack on the top of the pedal. It lets you control the cutoff knob with an expression pedal, or what I'm going to do is use the Old Blood expression slider. But what you need is a TRS jack. Just a normal TRS jack. So all I did was plug the TRS cable into the expression jack on the top of the pedal, then into my expression pedal. And now we have expression control over the cutoff knob with our slider here. Now, how this works is wherever you set the cutoff control, from there, we can choose to ramp it up to the maximum. So right now, I'm gonna go ahead and set it to the minimum. So that gives us complete control of the sweep with the slider. Now let's go ahead and hear how the OFF1 sounds on bass. I have my standard jazz bass here. Let's go ahead and turn on the Octave Fuzz filter. So right now we have the tone a little bit less than half. Let's go ahead and turn that up. I turned the mid control off, so we're getting more of a flat or kind of scooped out mid-range. We've got the octave up sound off. Now let's go ahead and kick on that sub octave. That's so cool. And then of course we can turn the filter on. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please share it with your friends who are also into guitar pedals or guitar gear. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more, and if you want to interact with me on a little bit more daily basis, you can always head on over to Instagram. My handle over there is @EricMerrow. I want to send a gigantic thank you to these folks right here, my Patreon fam, my executive producers from Patreon. Your support means the world to me, and it makes running this channel so much easier, and it just gives me motivation to make better and better videos for all of you. Thank you so much. If you would like to help support all my efforts here on YouTube and everywhere across the internet, you can head over to Patreon. I'll leave a link in the description below. So thank you so much for the support. Thank you for watching. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourself.